Stephen Hawking was born on January 8, 1942, and is a British genius physicist who has spent his life deciphering the mysteries of the universe. The Guardian called Stephen Hawking the brightest star in modern cosmology. He is the author of A Brief History of Time, one of the most popular science books of all time. Stephen Hawking's works span many fields, from exploring the origin of the universe, exploring the potential of space travel, to the mystery behind the black hole. Opposite of physical disability is a great intellectual strength for Stephen Hawking's. He is the guy who discovered many things about black holes. For example, black holes could actually die by leaking energy, together with some scientist. He also invented important theories about the Big Bang. There are rumors that his IQ is 160. But some say that his was probably high, closer to 180. Albert Einstein was a German mathematician and physicist who developed the special and general theories of relativity. In 1921, he won the Nobel Prize for Physics for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. In the following decade, he immigrated to the US after being targeted by the German Nazi Party. His work also had a major impact on the development of atomic energy. In his later years, Einstein focused on unified field theory. With his passion for inquiry, Einstein is generally considered the most influential physicist of the 20th century. As a physicist, Einstein had many discoveries, but he is perhaps best known for his theory of relativity and the equation E=mc², which foreshadowed the development of atomic power and the atomic bomb. After World War II, Einstein continued to work on his unified field theory and key aspects of his general theory of relativity, including time travel, wormholes, black holes, and the origins of the universe. However, he felt isolated in his endeavors since the majority of his colleagues had begun focusing their attention on quantum theory. In the last decade of his life, Einstein, who had always seen himself as a loner, withdrew even further from any sort of spotlight, preferring to stay close to Princeton and immerse himself in processing ideas with colleagues. So obviously he was smart. IQ estimates him from 160 to 190. So medium should be 175, but he probably had more. Bobby Fischer was a record-setting chess master who became the youngest player to win the U.S. Chess Championship at 14, and the first American-born player to win the World Chess Championship. Bobby Fischer first learned the game of chess at age 6 and eventually became the youngest international grandmaster at the age of 15. In 1972, he became the first American-born world chess champion after defeating Boris Spassky, an eccentric genius, who was believed to have an IQ of 181. Fischer became known for his controversial public remarks in his later years. He was granted Icelandic citizenship in 2005, following legal trouble with the United States. During Cold War, Soviets and USA organized a chess match between Boris Spassky, best Soviet player, and Bobby Fischer. It wasn't just a simple game. It was a battle to show which country is superior. Bobby won. It is said that he had 180 IQ. After Spassky match, Bobby stopped playing chess for decades. Galileo was an Italian astronomer, mathematician, physicist, philosopher and professor who made pioneering observations of nature with long-lasting implications for the study of physics. He also constructed a telescope and supported the Copernican theory, which supports a sun-centered solar system. Galileo was accused twice of heresy by the Church for his beliefs, and wrote a number of books on his ideas. He was also a scientist and scholar whose inventions included the telescope. His discoveries laid the foundation for modern physics and astronomy. Galileo has been called the father of observational astronomy, the father of modern physics, the father of the scientific method, and the father of modern science. Religious inquisition almost killed the man for claiming that Earth goes around the sun. It is estimated that his IQ was close to 185. Garry Khimovich Kasparov is a Russian chess grandmaster, former world chess champion. Kasparov was ranked world number 1 for 255 months overall for his career. His peak rating of 2,851, achieved in 1999, was the highest recorded until being surpassed by Magnus Carlsen in 2013. Kasparov also holds records for the most consecutive professional tournament victories and chess Oscars. Scientists created a chess computer named Deep Blue. This computer was capable of evaluating 200 million chess positions per second, and Garry Kasparov still managed to win a few rounds. He also became the youngest ever undisputed world chess champion, in 1985 at age 22. It is estimated that his IQ is about 187. Isaac Newton was a physicist and mathematician who developed the principles of modern physics, including the laws of motion, and is credited as one of the great minds of the 17th century scientific revolution. Back in those days, people believed that everything falls on Earth, but Newton had 5D thinking and believed that all objects attracted each other. Newton proved that all the planets were held in place by the sun's gravity. In 1687, he published his most acclaimed work, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, which has been called the single most influential book on physics. In 1705, he was knighted by Queen Anne of England, making him Sir Isaac Newton. Estimates put Newton's IQ at 190. Christopher Michael Langan is an American horse rancher and autodidact who has been reported to score very highly on IQ tests. Langan's IQ was estimated on ABC's 2020 to be between 195 and 210, and in 1999 he was described by some journalists as the smartest man in America or in the world. In 1999, as part of an interview, Langan did an IQ test which was provided by a neuropsychologist. The neuro guy said that this is the highest IQ he encountered in 25 years. Langan's IQ is estimated to be 202. Even though this guy works as a horse rancher. He did develop a theory of the relationship between mind and reality. He also claims to have proven the existence of God. But he did that only when he defined what God really is. Following people are so smart that they make IQ scoring obsolete. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, born August 28, 1749, Frankfurt am Main, Germany. He died in March 22, 1832, Weimar, Saxe, Weimar. German poet, playwright, novelist, scientist, statesman, theater director, critic, and amateur artist, considered the greatest German literary figure of the modern era. Goethe is the only German literary figure whose range and international standing equal those of Germany's supreme philosophers, who have often drawn on his works and ideas, and composers, who have often set his works to music. His writings have been described as classical. The course of his works, Hugh's 90,000 words, almost 3 times Shakespeare's total. He also was very quick, could do a poem in a matter of minutes. But he also studied natural science. He wrote several works on morphology and color theory. Basically, he was everywhere, and what he did it almost perfectly. It is estimated that his IQ was 205. Leonardo da Vinci was a Renaissance painter, sculptor, architect, inventor, military engineer and draftsman, the epitome of a true Renaissance man. Gifted with a curious mind and a brilliant intellect, Da Vinci studied the laws of science and nature, which greatly informed his work. His drawings, paintings and other works have influenced countless artists and engineers over the centuries. So let's talk about the people who can paint as good as Leonardo. Shows high intellect, attention to detail and good visualization. Leonardo also is renowned in the field of civil engineering, chemistry, geology, geometry, hydrodynamics, mathematics, mechanical engineering, optics, physics, pyrotechnics, and zoology. Leonardo conceived ideas vastly ahead of his own time: parachute, helicopter, armored fighting vehicle, tank, and many more numerous ideas. It is estimated that Leonardo da Vinci had IQ of 220. Marilyn Vosavant, born Marilyn Mack 1946, is an American magazine columnist, author, lecturer, and playwright. She was listed as having the highest recorded intelligence quotient, IQ, in the Guinness Book of Records, a competitive category the publication has since retired. However, she was listed in the Guinness Book of Records for having the highest IQ of 228. Having a high IQ doesn't always correlate with inventing stuff. She solved some science problems like Monty Hall problem. She also held a membership in a separate high-intelligence society called Mega Society. Only 1 in 1 million people can pass the test and become a member. And in the last we got Nikola Tesla. The myth, the legend, the icon. He was an engineer and scientist known for designing the alternating current, AC, electric system, which is the predominant electrical system used across the world today. He also created the Tesla coil, which is still used in radio technology. Nikola Tesla is estimated to having IQ of 235. There is a story which may or may not be true. But someone asked Albert Einstein how it felt to be the smartest man on Earth. And Einstein answered, "I wouldn't know, ask Nikola Tesla." Tesla was ahead of time. Some of his ideas and solutions are still a mystery. Thanks to him we have alternating current, which is cheaper to transport than direct current. He also constructed first hydroelectric power plant. Thanks to him, X-rays were later implemented in the medical field. He was like a fusking wizard. He literally tried to make wireless transmission of electricity. Who knows how advanced we would be if he had limitless funding. Please share and comments who is your favorite smartest one.